Right, so 90 Day the Single Life is back for season 2, and so is the 4'10" ball of degeneracy known as Big Ed. Last season we watched his relationship with Liz blossom and crumble, and now the little menace to the female species is looking for love all over again. You'd think after 2 seasons of putting women through absolute hell that there wouldn't be anyone left in America, let alone California, willing to date him. But unfortunately, not everyone watches the show, and even more sadly, not everyone subscribes to this channel. It is therefore our duty to the human race to continue to analyse the curious case that is Big Ed. And today we're starting off at the salon, where Big Ed is hoping to start single life as a brand new man.
I'm Big Ed, and I live in San Diego, California. This has been my signature look for about 3 years, but I mean, it's just a mess. I'm done with the mayonnaise. I'm ready for Big Ed 2.0, better version.
This is gonna be nice.
I'm tired of pretending I'm gonna look young. Honestly, I think it looks like I'm trying too hard. So this is about Big Ed returning to who I am, myself.
If only he could shave off his shitty personality too, hey. You know, during the last season with Liz, I said I was quite surprised that he didn't really seem to learn anything at all from his time with Rose, and that he ended up making almost all the exact same mistakes all over again. But this time, it kind of seems like he's at least heard a lot of the criticism coming his way. And whether it's because he genuinely wants to, or whether he just wants to please the audience, he does kind of seem like he's trying to change himself for the better. Having said that though, he does have a bit of a habit of being self-aware in hindsight, and just because he says he wants to change doesn't mean he will. Also, as much as he is trying to leave a lot of himself in the past, one thing he's struggling to let go of is his breakup with Liz, which only happened 6 weeks ago.
It sucks.
Yeah.
And the hardest is when you have to admit to yourself that she's not the right one.
Yeah.
And that's hard to walk away.
Oh. Hey.
Yeah. This breakup is one of the hardest things I've ever done in my life. I feel I gave away my heart again and I failed.
I don't really like the way he uses the word failed because it kind of implies that he deserves a little bit of sympathy, but we know that the relationship failing was almost entirely his fault. From rushing the relationship on camera to the abusive leaked phone call off it. As someone with an undoubtedly big ego, having the entire nation watch his unsuccessful attempt at finding love in the Philippines with Rose, followed by his absolute mess of a relationship with Liz a year later, he is determined not to let himself strike out with 3. So since the breakup, he's been going to therapy, he's been going to the gym where he's lost 25 pounds, and of course, he's got a brand new look.
Okay, here we go. Are you ready?
I'm ready. I'm gonna close my eyes.
Let's do it.
Woo, 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 woo. Coming to get y'all. Oh my God, I love it.
Yeah!
I look 15 years younger.
You look great.
This haircut is a fresh start for me. I'm leaving my past and my hair behind with the old Ed.
You know, I am so surprised he kept that long hair for that long because he looks so much better without it. Like, he actually looks like a relatively normal middle-aged short guy for once, rather than some creepy live-action remake of a Flintstones character. Unfortunately though, many of Big Ed's defining characteristics remain unchanged. And like one of those little tumbler toys, his centre of gravity is so unusual that whenever he gets knocked down, he just pops right back up. So despite coming out of a very toxic and complicated relationship just 6 weeks ago, he's already out on the prowl looking for his next victim.
I have turned over a new leaf. Okay, I'm finally getting the message. When it comes to dating, my ideal partner would be between the ages of 38 and 44. I am not at all whatsoever interested in dating anybody in their 20s. I'm done. I learned my lesson. I burned myself twice, and it's time for me to grow up.
Alright, it's nice that he's finally ruling out women literally younger than his own daughter, but it's still a bit of a weird age bracket, isn't it? Like, 44 being his maximum age is still 12 years younger than him. Not that that's too young by itself or anything, it's just weird that he still refuses to date anyone within a decade of his own age. And on top of that, he hasn't exactly been humbled by his recent relationship failures.
I still, to this day, sort of believe in my heart that I can find the perfect woman. I have a list of 10 things I want in a woman. I want someone that is committed, trustworthy, respectful, is attractive, doesn't want kids, communication skills, sense of humor, tiger in the bedroom, does not want to friend zone me, and they have to love me.
You forgot reminds you of your daughter, has daddy issues, and has some kind of vulnerability you can exploit. But other than that, that's a pretty comprehensive list. The friendzone talk is still kind of cringe, and throwing around the L word before the first date is definitely a personal record for him. But other than that, I pretty much respect all of the rest. How picky you can actually be if you're Big Ed remains the main problem here. But just in case any of you forgot what's on offer, the producers decided to include a steamy little shower scene. To all of you with 20/20 vision, be it naturally or assisted, I truly apologise for what you're about to witness. It's just so unnecessary, isn't it? Thankfully, there is kind of a reason why we're watching him shower and get ready. Tonight, he's going on a date with a 42-year-old from Las Vegas called Mia. Apparently, they met at a friend's barbecue, hit it off, he asked her out, and she must have been overcome by some temporary lapse in judgment because apparently she said yes.
I'm nervous. This will be my first date since my breakup with Liz. And my plan is to take Liz, oh fuck. I want to take Liz, fuck me. My plan is to take Mia, swing dancing. And hopefully we'll come back to the hotel. I'm just kidding.
I can't believe he got her name wrong twice in that short period of time. If you ever need a sign to say that you're not quite ready to move on yet, that is it. Also, he's just not kidding about the hotel thing, is he? It's so funny. Ed is always trying to convince us of what he's thinking when it's so clear it's not true. It was only 2 seasons ago that he pressured Rose into sleeping with him in their first night in a hotel together. And last season, he tried to forcibly kiss Liz literally hours after she said she wanted to take things slow. Like, I would genuinely respect him more if he was just honest about his intentions.
I'm excited about dating somebody closer to my age, but I still really miss Liz. Everything reminds me of her. So I really have no idea if I'm ready to even fall in love again. So this is really a test for me. All right, man, let's do this.
I feel like this is a little bit unfair on Mia to be taking her out on a date when he's so clearly not over Liz yet. It's almost like he's using Mia to get over Liz, or to at least figure out if he's over Liz enough to try and move on. But honestly, he needs to spend a lot more time working on himself before he starts dating again. Like, he has some deep problems, and 6 weeks of therapy is barely enough to even scratch the surface of that. If he jumps headfirst into something again, he's just going to end up roping another woman into another toxic relationship.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh my God.
How are you?
Great. Oh my
Oh,
God.
thank you.
Are you ready to swing dance? You have the outfit.
I totally do. Let me go, please.
Okay, sure.
Okay. My name is Mia. I'm 42 years old. I agreed on this first date because I love his personality and I want to see what there is more to him.
I actually like this girl, you know. She seems kind of sweet. What is she doing with a guy like Big Ed? I mean, I know not everyone watches this show, but surely she knows who he is and why he's got cameras filming him. Like, if I got asked out on a date with a girl from a reality TV show, especially if it was a dating one, I'd definitely binge all the episodes to figure out what I'm getting into. But the fact that she says that she loves his personality makes me very much doubt that she's done that. I mean, he's definitely an interesting character and he's quite a charismatic guy, so I can see why girls might be intrigued with him to begin with. But with everything out there about the way he treats women both on and off camera, the fact that he still manages to find dates this easily genuinely does surprise me.
You know, swing dancing, it's a way for us to hold hands and have fun. And I don't want to start the date off having dinner and that whole thing. I'm going to go out and do something that I enjoy doing.
All right. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 5, 6.
There you go. sorry, you okay? Let me know if I'm going too fast.
You're going.
Not the first time he's heard that on a first date, is it? Ed moving too fast on day one. What's new? It's also quite a big Ed move to pick something that he wants to do rather than basing it off her interests. But I must say, it is quite a nice idea. I mean, it's fun, they get to break the physical barrier, it's not too intense, and of course, it's hard for Big Ed's personality to ruin everything if they're not actually speaking. Plus, it's definitely a step up from goat yoga, isn't it?
You thirsty?
I'm dying.
Are you hungry?
Yes, let's go. Let's get something to drink.
That was fun. Swing dancing with me, I thought was awesome. It was a chance for me to get to know her kind of physically and to have a good time. Then she's just a knockout. Like, she literally looks, younger than Liz.
Yikes, that is such an awful thing to say in so many ways. Firstly, comparing her to his ex is an instant red flag. And it's even worse that it's kind of a dig at Liz as well as a compliment to Mia. It just screams immaturity, bitterness and jealousy, and definitely suggests that he really isn't over Liz yet. Also, the fact that how old she looks is the first thing he talks about just confirms that his priorities are still in the exact same shallow and noncy order they've always been in. He could have just said that she looks great for her age, or even better, just drop the whole weird age obsession altogether and just said that she's a gorgeous woman. But no. He proves to us all that as much as he's been saying that he's working on becoming a brand new version of himself, he hasn't changed one bit.
So did you have fun?
I totally did.
Did I overdo it?
Mm-mm.
No?
No, I had fun.
I just got too excited, like...
I could tell.
Nice. So...
Tell me more about yourself.
What do you want to know about me?
It's so funny how many parallels can be found in all of his first dates. I mean, I don't really blame him for the awkward silences, as funny as it is that it keeps happening. But it's still so telling that he absolutely lights up as soon as he gets the opportunity to talk about himself. It's literally the worst tactic as well. I feel like if you're Big Ed and you're on a first date, the less talking about yourself you do, the better. But unfortunately, this man has the biggest ego to height ratio in the Northern Hemisphere. So when he gets the chance to be centre of attention, he eats it up. And to make matters worse, the first thing Mia asked him about was his recent relationship.
Okay, so I'm not good at them.
Mm-hmm.
And Liz, the last woman I dated, was 28.
So how long did that relationship last?
I was with Liz for 6 months. I make up and break up 8 times. Who does that?
8 times. That's a lot of times. Who did the breaking up? Wow.
Why on a first date would you make it clear that you were in a toxic relationship and then admit that you were the toxic one? Again, of all the nice things he could have said about how he misses the date nights or bringing someone flowers or spoiling someone, literally any sweet thing he missed about being in a relationship that wasn't necessarily Liz related. But instead, he decides to talk about how much he sucks at relationships, how destructive he is in them, and how much younger his ex was. Good going, Ed, you massive divvy. And even worse than him rapidly firing off all of these red flags with no reassurances that the relationship is completely done or that he's definitely over her is how utterly shameless he is about it all. She must just be sitting there thinking, what the f*** have I got myself into?
So I had a really hard time with that. That is the hardest thing that I've ever had to do. Was to let her go. But I had to.
Don't cry.
Sorry.
What is it with this guy and crying on first dates? He did the exact same thing on his first date with Liz, and even his own brother roasted him for it. And even worse, this time it's about his ex-girlfriend. I can't tell if the don't cry was like a reassuring, supportive thing, or whether that was her going, oh my god, please don't tell me you're about to cry. Imagine spending all that time getting a nice dress and making yourself look nice and getting hyped about a first date, and it starts going like this. It is so painful to watch that they actually decided to end the episode here. So unfortunately, that is all we have time for today. If you enjoyed this video and you want to find out what happens next on this rapidly declining date from hell, please feel free to subscribe down below so you don't miss the next part. As always, the links to my Instagram, Twitter and other social media will be down below. And thank you to all of my Patreon supporters and channel members for supporting me and the channel. I really do appreciate it. Thank you for watching, and hopefully I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.